Hey everybody, good to see you. I'm here with Karen Aguilar. This is Brian Smith. And if you can hear me okay, if you don't mind, just type yes in the comments. That'd be super helpful. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about buying a home and how to do it without wasting your time or money, and also without getting all stressed out in the process, because it can get stressful if you let it. It can. So, and before we get started, I just want to let you know, if you're really serious about buying a home or selling a home, give us a call. You might want us to help you with that. You may not. Either way, we're happy to give you some advice and point you in the right direction. And you can go to showcasecall.com. When you're there, just click a few buttons to get scheduled with us. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're just joining us, what we're talking about is buying your next home, how to do it without getting all stressed out, how to do it without wasting your time, your money. And one of the questions that we get a lot is, how much should I offer for this house? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How much should you offer for the house? What's your initial offer? And I would say when people are looking to buy a house, sometimes they're worried, or is their offer going to get accepted, or they might be worried
of overpaying
for the house. They make an offer, they get all caught up in the excitement maybe of buying the house, and they offer more than they're really comfortable with. Mm-hmm. So that's a couple of the fears, worries that people have. And we're going to talk about how to handle that today, so that you can eliminate those worries and fears. And if you are just joining us, what we want to do is just let you know, if you're serious about buying a home or selling a home, give us a call. You might want us to help you with it. You might not. Either way, we're happy to give you some advice and point you in the right direction. And if that sounds good to you, you can just go to showcasecall.com and click a few buttons to get scheduled with us. And if somebody wouldn't mind, just type in Showcase Call in the comments. That way we got an easy link for people listening. That'd be cool. And, so what we're talking about is buying a home. We're talking about doing it without getting stressed out or paying too much for the house. And when you get ready to buy a house, you're going to have to figure out what you're willing to pay for that house. And your agent should be able to help you with that. They're going to pull together comparables. If you want to talk about that a little bit, like that process of, what your agent should do for you as far as putting together some comps.
And I'm just going to say, this is what I do, okay?
Sure. Let's hear it.
Because everybody's different. Usually, you might have 3 or 4 properties to show, and we go out and we look at them. And a lot of the times, one is, is the one that the client wants. So I come back and I, take a look at all the comparables around the area, mm-hmm. compare that condition of the property. So even if my client goes to an open house by themselves, I always try to go over there and look at the, mm-hmm. look at that property, because it just says a lot to me. So now I can compare apples to apples. And, I kind of have my own little calculations of what I do and stuff. And so then I recommend a price, like an offer to them. They can either go with it or they don't. A lot of the times they'll say, okay, let's go lower. Okay. And sometimes it's like, okay, let's go ahead and go with what mm-hmm. you're recommending. But it's just about making them feel, good about that offer mm-hmm. they're sending in. Do we always send at listing price? No, because most of the time the properties are overpriced, mm-hmm. and when you get into a battle of, this auction, and all of a sudden the price is going $15,000, $20,000 more, mm-hmm. It's up to the buyer if they want to move forward mm-hmm. and pay that sticker price, or we go and find something else.
Yeah. So very good point. So, you're out there as a buyer, you're looking for homes, you find a home that you love, you want to make an offer on that house. That house could be overpriced. So, the house could really be worth like, $630, but they got it priced at $650, or they got it priced at $670. That seller is just either, not in touch with what things are really worth. And selling for, or maybe they're just hoping that somebody will pay that high price. But either way, you're going to run into some homes that are overpriced, You're going to run into some homes that might be underpriced. That's a very, very small percentage of homes. And you're going to run into some homes that are priced right. They're priced at what the market is paying for those homes right now. But no matter what home you find, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out what you're willing to pay for that house. And that's what we want to, where we're going next with this. So let's say that this house is priced at $630, and you do your research with your agent, and you decide that the most you're willing to pay for that house is $615. You feel like that house is overpriced. You love the house, but you don't want to pay $630 for it. You're willing to pay $615. Well, if you were to offer $615, there's a good chance that the seller is going to come back and ask for a counter offer, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to push you up. Maybe they're trying to get you to $620 or $625, but they're trying to get you somewhere between $615 that you offered and the $630 that they're asking for the house. So if $615 is your max, you're probably not going to want to come in at $615. You may want to come in at $600 or $605, but you want to come in with that initial offer that's going to give you some wiggle room to negotiate up. And of course, Karen, we talk about this all the time. Real estate is almost never a one-size-fits-all. So what we're talking about today is going to work a lot of the times, but it's not going to work in every situation. Sometimes you might find a house that you're going to want to offer the full asking price, or you might even find a house where we're going to recommend that you offer above asking price. And we'll cover some of that in another video. But if you guys are just joining us, just want to let you know, if you're really serious about buying or selling a home, give us a call. You might want us to help you with it. You might not. Either way, we're happy to give you some advice and point you in the right direction. And you can go to showcasecall.com to get scheduled with us. There's no cost or obligation or anything, and we won't, pressure you to, do anything. So just kind of getting back to it and recapping this. If somebody's out there looking for homes, they find a home and they're getting ready to make an offer on the house, what are a few things that we've covered today, Karen, that you could kind of like sum it up for them?
I would check comparables. I think numbers speak, they say a ton of stuff. And compare the property. Don't take a fixer-upper and compare it to a, something that's completely remodeled, or the other way around. Or, a lot of the times there's adjustments to be made, or, you take one that's completely remodeled and you expect to get that for the price of a fixer-upper. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to, add up all the different upgrades that was made to that property, and just watch out. A lot of the times you'll see properties that have, I have seen them. They'll have Formica, which kind of looks like granite, and people, that's granite, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
That's not as much as granite is.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I would say, numbers, comparables, compare within. Usually start, half a mile radius, see what has sold that's similar to the property that you're trying to buy, and take it from there.
Cool. Yeah, and then when it comes to actually putting that offer together, it's kind of like chess. If you're playing chess, you're not just thinking about your next move. You need to be thinking about your next move, your opponent's move, and then your move after that. And so when you're making that initial offer for the house, don't think that the seller is just going to say, yes, I want that. I'm good with that price. Think ahead and think, there's a really good chance in most situations where the seller is going to try to get you to come up. And so you want to be thinking ahead. If you really want to pay $615 for this house and it's priced at $630, if you make an offer at $615, the seller is going to try to push you up. Now, of course, you can always stand your ground and say, $615 is my final, or $615 is my final offer. But a lot of times, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come in lower than what you're willing to pay. That way, you got some wiggle room. Again, real estate is not a one-size-fits-all. We always like to talk about that. So if you work with us, we might recommend a little bit different situation for a specific property, but we're going to look at each property individually. So hope you guys found this helpful. And again, if you guys are, if you're interested in buying or selling, you're really serious about it, give us a call. We'd be happy to give you some advice, point you in the right direction. Whether you work with us or you choose to work with someone else or you choose to do it all on your own, doesn't matter. We're just happy to talk with you and see if we can help you out on this journey where you're trying to buy or to sell. Okay? Oh, and you can go to showcasecall.com, click a few buttons to get scheduled with us. All right?
Alrighty.
Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day. Talk to you later.
Awesome day.
Bye-bye.